Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. Hope so. I'm just going to keep plugging away at the mod. Got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to be kind of squirreling it. Let's just... Cool. All right. So... I'm going to finish my thought here. Got type. Start changing out some stuff here. What I can do is where the flux core is, we're going to create a couple textures. All right, so in here we'll do items. You know what, for now I will create a new folder. Oh wait, you know what? Tools. Okay, wait, what do we got in tools? There we go. We'll name this tool Proto Wand. Do like 1, 2, 3. Copy. Paste. Aw, man, I don't want the folder too. Really? 1, 2, 3. Yes, move them, please, and thank you. You may... Yep, you may delete that. Hey, Spetsy. Good morning. And I'll call this Flux Core Dash Tier 1. It's 2 and 3, which now means I can come into here. And what I want to say is, what is it going to be? Items / tools / tool proto wand / flux core, and then I can put in here. Blurry, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing better than I am. I am in some serious pain. Some really freaking serious pain right now. Gotta keep my shoulders stretching. How do you manage to start your streams just as I'm about to leave the house or before I am just about to go to sleep? I don't know. I guess I'm just good. It's the listening device, right? That's installed. You know, that old chestnut. Oh man. All right, I need like a blue. What was transmutation? Ooh. Here, we'll just open this up. Something that's lighter. Kind of paste these in. All right, so for tier 1, I want it to be green. Let's go ahead and do a little hue and saturation. Maybe something like that. Copy. You know what I should do? Let's go into color tint. Let's make the whole thing green. Okay, for this one, this is the blue one, so let's do this. Hope you are as well. Yeah. Also, your Visual Studio is screaming pure pain with all those tabs. Oh, this is nothing. I had cleaned the tabs before. I had the tabs open all the way to like down here. And I had like a tiny window and I'm like, all right. And I usually keep stuff like there's usually like other tabs and windows open too. This one's not so bad. I'll stack things and move it over to like reference it later. My Visual Studio better not be screaming. Like, Because that means my computer sucks. This computer better not. Let's go to hue and saturation. We want like a light blue, right? Something like that. And then, oh, green. Oh, I moved wrong. Oh, God almighty. Oh. We need a purple. Maybe that, maybe up the saturation. There we go. Something like that. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now each wand should have a different core and gem pommel. Tank driver version, put in code. Oh man. So where are you going? You said you were going to sleep or heading out of the house. Anything fun planned? Meanwhile, me having 3 browser windows open at the same time and each of them having 70 plus tabs. Yeah, you can't talk. Come on, man. Now that's a screaming computer. You know, my one coworker's like that. I looked at him like, what are the icons? Like, you're using Chrome, right? I had never seen what happens when you have 99 tabs open. I've never seen it. Okay, let's shut that off. Looks like the texture did not load, right? Yep, Proto Wand. Let me make sure. I probably fat-fingered something. So, items. Tools. Yep. Cool Proto Wand. Got it. Flux core dash, and then the tier. Oh, wait. Type. It's type, not tier. Paste, paste, and paste. What I will also do is replace it here. That way, when I do eventually make new models, it will just work. Oop. I'm heading out in 10 minutes or so to meet up with Tyron. Nice. Tell him I'm looking forward to seeing of the pre-releases that add stuff. that adds some new stuff. Just tell him hi. Like, I'm freaking tired, man. Last night I got calcific tendonitis, which sucks. It's like razor blades like right in your shoulder. And I couldn't sleep last night. I got like no sleep. So who knows? Who knows what I'm doing? Who knows? I forget that you live like close to him though. You should tell him that Vice would like dimensions and new worlds, so I could take a vacation from work. So I can use some of my PTO to make a dimensions mod. Oh man. Tell him Santa should bring it. Tell him he doesn't even have to work for it, right? Just tell Santa. All right, so this is the old wand, right? So this is the new. Let's throw that out. So these are the bone wand variants. And it's just a different tip. The transmutation now, right? So now that I have this version of transmutation, right? Then you can. Oh, I gotta change the internal particles. Perfect. Thank you. See, you knew how to formulate my my dribble. I got other things to do. So I guess that will be all for the wand for now. So I have different variants here for the different types of wood. Still not sure if I'm gonna keep this or not. Not sure if I'm gonna keep the different wood types, but it's in for now. Not sure how Chrome X with so many tabs, but Opera GX is amazing job. Doing an amazing job using around 2 gig of RAM. I got you. I have a feeling we will all be happy this year. I wish I could tell more. I do too. This whole thing where, you know, we're getting like an adventure mode, that's got me scared. I was not happy to see that. like full disclosure, I was like, uh-oh. Like, it scares the shit out of me. But we'll see. We will see. Not much that can be done. Not much that can be done. And then, you know, the thing where it's like, oh, you should make a dwarf and have magic. And I'm like, oh, should I stop making my magic mod then? Like, is it gonna be obsolete? What's going on here? Why so? Because it's a game mode that I don't think anyone asked for. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be like a game mode, right? Because I think of like an adventure mode and I think, okay, well, there's gonna be some decent combat, right? And there's gonna be, you know, like, change the ban me. Yeah, sure. There you go. Ban. You know, I feel like there's a lot of things to be fixed in the main game, right? Like, instead of a new adventure mode, why don't we make it to where you could have, you know... No, please do not stop on your mod. Well, you know, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like, we're gonna add magic. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to spend a bunch of time, like, you know, that's the whole point of a modding community, right? Like, we make this kind of stuff. You know, and there's so much to fix. You know, like, how about we get it to where you could have 20 to 30 people playing in a server with 10 mods without huge latency and lag spikes. You know, let's do that. Let's work on maybe a server to client like relationship where things can synchronize, you know, where if I'm doing something like, here, I'll show you here, right? If I'm doing something like this, you know, like we got seconds used in here. There are times when this seconds used is different from the client and the server. And then you would think this seconds used would propagate into this seconds used, but this seconds used comes back only as a different, it's close, but it's a different value, right? And client doesn't even, it doesn't even fire most of the times. On the client, it just zeroed out. You know what I mean? How about when I throw an item and, like, for the player, and, you know, player ID, getting the player ID of who like threw it? How about that's not null? You know what I mean? Like, let's I mean, we should really be working on the optimization, in my opinion, of the game, and not like a new adventure mode that's gonna, you know, gonna split things up. You know, how about particles? When particles spawn, they're not centered. So every particle is like leaning to the side, right? So you have something like this, right? And then you would expect I spawn a particle this big and it's like that. Nope. It spawns like that. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's hard because you can't center particles to come out of an exact point, because from every angle you look at it, they're always going to be right-leaning. Animated textures would be nice. You know? And honestly, I'm worried about, you know, bringing like the high-tech devs over and stuff, or Hightail devs, because you don't really know what the real problem was, right? Because I read articles and everyone's got their own, you know, hearsay about what happened, but usually, right, if it's like your publisher's fault, at least something comes out, right? You know, they cut the scope, you know, things are buggy, right? Rushed releases, bare bones, right? Because they want to make their money. If you're talking about feature creep, it's kind of on the devs, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of rare that, you know, like a you know, a company like that's like, you know, let's have this huge scope. I mean, I guess it could happen, but you know, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, right? Like, I remember Hightail. I loved watching it, but then, you know, after so long, you don't really, you know, it's like, oh, it's been like 3 years, and all we have is a couple videos, and now they're you know, sending something out like 2 to 4 times a year, right? Each season, you have an update. And I remember the one thing where it's like, oh, we got this. This is so cool how our modding API is. Look, this is a trampoline that we made, and I'm like, really? That's you could easily simulate that. Like, it's in Vintage Story, it's in Minecraft, right? Just create, you know, on collision with that block, a, you know, increase to your Y motion with, you know what I mean, and curtail it so you don't, you know, so you don't infinitely bounce. You know what I mean? I was just like, the pictures look cool, but but you know, it's like it looked worse each time I took a look at the game. Like, it looked worse and worse. Let's see. This is the new transmutation, by the way. Love it. Oh, none of the main team will work on adventure mode, as it is more welcome in devs from Hightail. And I would not wonder if it branches off into its own game. See, that's the thing, right? Like, you're separating resources. Why not hire the people to make the base game better? You know what I mean? Like, this is... There's a lot of work to be done. Like, honestly, the last update, the 1.20 update, was not a good look. You know, like, we got like a professional trailer, you know what I mean, for like the 1.20 update. And it released with like the first release candidate, which was buggy as heck. How many times have we had to fall back into a release candidate, you know, between 1.19 and 1.20? You know what I mean? Like the you know, like there was stuff that had to be cut. You know, the whole the writing entity system definitely has some bugs in it. You know, that's why I stopped the ViesCraft machines mod. I wanted to make a bigger flying machine, but until the writing entities, you know, the writable accessories stuff is ironed out, I can't touch it. You know, we don't have like dimensions. It's, you know, it's the dimensions that you can, you know, like, you know, there's just a lot. Like, work on world gen. Like, that's a big problem with the game too. We don't, you go into Minecraft and you see like extra large biomes. You know, it's like, it adds 60, 70, 80, over 100 biomes. And even if like only 10 of those are unique, like, there's no reason for me to go exploring and look over this next mountain, because it's going to look exactly the same as where I just was. You know what I mean? Like, at least in Minecraft, it's like, oh shit, look over this mountain. This is called a magic forest biome? Look at these trees. These are new kinds of... I gotta get some seeds here. Oh, look at this new... look at this mushroom. Oh my god, I ran into it and I'm like freaking out, and it's like making my screen all woozy. Wow, it's a poison mushroom. Holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, there was... Oh, cool, there's like a desert biome, like a little over there. I gotta go over there. That's cool. I'm gonna make a desert base. A tundra, like every time it rains, like it's cold all year round, I want to set up a nice cozy home there because I love the snow. You know what I mean? Like oceans, it's cool that we have oceans. I have a submarine that's on standby, but there's no reason to go into the oceans. You know, I guess there'll be patches of like the coral reefs and stuff, but why would I want to go down there, right? Like, what's that material going to do? You know, you can sprint steel in like a day or two. I've watched people do it. I'm like, holy crap, you can complete the game in like a day and you're on steel. What the hell? Like, that's just not fair. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, all those things I would like to see fixed before we get a spin-off game, you know? Yeah, devlogs rest. Oh yeah, now I understand what you mean. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Blurry. I gotta run. About the issues on modding side you mentioned, if you have more, please send them to me in Discord. I'll forward them and spoon feed them to Tyrone. Yeah, I can do that. Because I, you know, like making a magic mod, you find a lot of stuff. Find a lot. Alright, have fun. Get something good. Alright. What am I got so much to work on. You know what? Let's work on increasing the stored charge depending on what you put in these slots, these upgrade slots. Let's do that. DM Blurry about damage tiers? Yeah. Yeah. We should all DM Blurry. Hey Blurry. We got some homework for you. Yeah, so that's some homework. Yeah. And, you know, that's the thing. I mentioned it last night, too. Like, you know, I'm critical about aspects like that because I see the potential in the game. And it could be, like, really fun. You know, it could be, like, a lot better in a lot of different, like, quality of life ways. You know, like, at least now when you make a new world, there's guaranteed to be at least some little splish splash of ocean, right? Like, for a while, there wasn't. And it's kind of hard when you're like, oh, you know, like, I was using salt water, because I'm like, come on, you know, there's salt water in every world. No, there isn't. Not in the default world. You know what I mean? So then it's like, oh, jeez. You know? Other things like synchronization, like, see that portal over there? That shader? Moving to the left and right? It doesn't center right. You know, and it's even worse when you're like running and sprinting, like it gets choppy just like that. It like bounces back and forth. You know what I mean? Just little stuff. Little stuff like that. Alright. I'm done with that. Let's continue. I got a lot to do. We will do this. So I have to think about what your upgrades are going to be. Let's pull up the old text document here. Notepad. Here we go. So, look into particles from Foundry, completing a craft, items being thrown in, resetting synthesis, removing tablets. So that's particle work. I can do particle work when I'm not streaming. That's kind of like more trial and error. I will say though, them taking on a different team to work on a different slice of the game means they have more freedom to do weird stuff, and that could translate to improvements in visuals and timing and stuff like that. I will counter that. How many times have we seen a game spool off into two separate games and they both end up being trash? Right? Like, let's not forget, you know, Camelot Unchained, and, you know, even you could argue, like, the only kind of successful one is Ashes of Creation, right? Because they started off with, like, their Battle Royale, and at least they're making progress. But usually, if you separate people out, right, like, you're not really growing either game, because there are going to be people that don't want a new game mode. Right? Like, they're, you know, you don't... Like, when's the last time someone went in here and was like, I'm playing on Homo Sapien, dude. That's it. Pure Homo Sapien. Like, no one does that. I haven't seen a single streamer, you know, like, fire up those game settings, right? Like, what? You know, and that's where I'm coming from, Spetsy, with it. Like, I like to be optimistic that my shoulder pain is also probably making me more grumpy than usual. But You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, if you're gonna do that, let's work on the foundation, right? There's still a lot of work to be done with, like, synchronization. You know, let's make it to where, like I said, let's make it to where 20 people can play on a server. 15. You know what? Let's lower it. 15 people with medium load amount of mods being able to play on a server without experiencing enormous rubber banding and latency. And without having to have a server that runs with, like, you know, 15 to 20 gigs of RAM. Right? Like, I shouldn't pull a Magellan and go like 20,000 blocks to get to a desert, and now my server is forever, like, you know, capped at 12, you know, gigs RAM. There are smoother clouds you can yell at. Oh, thank you, RC. Oh, because the first thing I thought when I looked at the sky here was, man, those clouds look crappy. Thank God they're gonna be smooth. Problem solved. That did it. That did it. All right. So I made tablets shelvable. I'm too lazy to flip that. That's just how it's gonna live right there. All right. So what can I use item wise? What can I use for upgrades? Upgrades that would make sense, right? So unfortunately, the Mage Candle is kind of in the same boat as the Mana Torches. Kind of in the same boat. And I don't want like a light or dark. Maybe you could mix and match. Probably should have other upgrade slots as well. Maybe other upgrade slots that... I really gotta think about this. Like, how am I going to work this? You know what? We're not gonna work on the upgrade slots yet. I gotta think about that. We'll move on to something else. For the obelisk, let's take a look at the magic chalk. Kind of maybe start playtesting. I think that's gonna be the best way to figure out what needs to get done. So let me erase mana, and we'll start fresh. Oh, pain. That's the thing. If those other team is going to is working on different mechanics, those things are going to need parts of the foundation fleshed out that the base game currently doesn't need. Like what? You know, like I would like to know what those needs are. Well, like for instance, if you were doing was official work in the base game, they have already fixed all the animated stuff and particle effects. What are you talking about? If this work you were doing was official work for the base game, they would have already fixed. No, they wouldn't, because it's not fixed now. Particles have always been part of the game. You know, like the desync stuff and everything. Like, and a lot of that too is going from like TCP to like UDP packets. You know, I get it. I get it. But that doesn't necessarily mean like I think you're being very optimistic about it, because remember, they're going to be different silos. They're not all working on the same thing if this is going to be working the way that they said they are. Right? Like it's basically like, oh yeah, we're going to have like a, you know, it's going to be kind of competition, is it not? Like for now it's going to be just part of this, and then if they can monetize it, you know, it's like Minecraft, right? And all of a sudden you got like Minecraft Dungeons and all these little spin-offs, but it's not the game that everyone likes. You know what I mean? It's not a critical part of the game. You're showing off particles in a lot more flashy ways. Well, yeah, but you know, I kind of get what you're saying, but at the same time, I also don't. You know, because at the end of the day, the direct competition is Minecraft, right? And Minecraft, even though it's simple, the damage tiers and the armor system makes sense. It works on a foundational level, right? You have a certain kind of power up in the overworld, and then the nether's harder, and then the end is harder still. You know what I mean? There's a natural progression. If someone can get on this game and like sprint steel in a day of playing, then you got imbalance problems, right? Like those could be fixed. You know, like have it to where people, you know, like world generation. Maybe consider different scaling for the world generation part. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's, I haven't seen it in practice where a game company has a game that's starting to be successful, and then they're like, you know what? Let's hire other people, not to help work and accelerate the game and everything, because, you know, the last couple updates have been rough, right? And then the most recent one that we just did is an incomplete update. You know what I mean? Let's not have them help us. Let's silo them off into, like, another game mode. You know what I mean? Like, how like, where have you seen that work? Fortnite and COD, Call of Duty? I mean, how many people were also working on those? You know, because, like, I haven't played those, really. I've played a little Call of Duty, but I'm not in the shooters. Fortnite, I didn't even play that, because it kind of seems like it's preschool daycare for all the little kids. You know, if I play a game or something, I don't want some little kid being like, "People mad! I'm home from school today! Let's play Fortnite!" Like, just turn off your mic. You know? Neither are my jam, but it's hard to say the branch wasn't successful. Yeah, but was it successful because there were like 4 people working on one half of the game and another 4 people working at the other half of the game with limited resources? You know what I mean? Or would it be better to have 8 people working on a singular game so they can tackle more aspects that need to be looked at? That's my point, Spetsy. That's my point. You know, Hytale didn't pan out. Feature creep got it. It probably also didn't help that they decided in all the infinite wisdom in the world to have the server and the client running different, like, you know, different languages, like coding languages, as like a fundamental thing. Like, I still remember that post, and I was like, well, this game's fucked. I don't think it's gonna work as well as you think, having Java on one side and like C# on the other. Going from like object-oriented, you know, lines of thinking to, like, you know, not. Like, holy shit, okay. Be interesting if you could pull it off. I'd like to see it, but I'm not gonna hold my breath either. It's good to be optimistic, Spetsy. You know, I'm, you know, it's kind of makes you a little nervous. You know, especially after you kind of fall face down, right? Recently, you become a little gun shy to just run back into the race, right? Like, how many times were we back into a release candidate for 1.20? You know what I mean? Kind of launched without, like, at some point they're just like, yeah, you know what? 1.21 is going to be the second half. I don't know. That doesn't scream to me. It's a good idea to hire more people to branch it off into something different. That's me personally. Maybe there's a lot more that we don't know behind the scenes, but I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together here. That's trying to just you know, all cards on the table. That doesn't sound like a good idea from the outside. Or how about this? This game, it needs mod pack support. Like, mod pack support on the ModDB site right now, it's not good, because basically for someone to make a mod pack, they have to, like, download your mod and then repost it in theirs. Like, that's, come on, man. What? How does that make sense? Like, we need to fix that too. maybe break it up so like on the ModDB page, you know, you could classify a mod like this is something specifically for a server. That way you're not seeing like, oh cool, look at all the recent mods, and it's like, oh yeah, Flippy Dippy's Spectacular Server. This is a mod pack only for Flippy Dippy Spectacular Server, and it has a couple recipe changes, but it's now a whole mod. You know, oh, this is the Flippy Dippy Service Pack Part 2. It adds a new song from this obscure game that you've probably never heard of. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. That's a mod. Right? Like, could I filter by that stuff? Could I see, like, what, you know, like, give me the primitive survivals, and you know what I mean? Like, those are the mods I want to see. I don't want to see, you know, this fixes, this makes the, you know, shivers really, really loud, right? Or, it's like, okay. We need CurseForge style stuff for sure. Yeah, we do. We totally do. I would love to see this game get so big that it does eventually, like, mold into CurseForge. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Alright, so let's... I didn't unlock magic yet. Let me unlock magic. We'll start from square one, and then kind of see how some of these things feel. Bam! Magic. I'm gonna take all of my stuff off. Yep, the attunement core. Ooh, you know what? That's fine. I am going to get rocked by rust sickness up here. There we go. Perfect. CurseForge is a gold standard for modding for me. It really is. They, you know what? They got their crap together. It makes sense. It's a good space. A really good space. So you start off with magic, right? Let's go into meditation. Let me get my mana back. You know what? Let's not. Let's not. I was just about ready to tap into meditation. I can just jump on this. There we go. So first thing you can do is either get a stick or a bone in your hand. You're going to go down to meditate. Right? So there's meditation. Holding this in my hand, a held object reacts to your mana. Bam. Oh, it's making the old style of the wand. I just changed that. Okay, let's fix that. This is why I wanted to do a play test. I changed that last night. Where is it? There we go. Meditation. Believe it is here. Run meditation logic. That's the skill check. Hold her. It's killing me. Alright, I gotta stretch it here. Pain, y'all. The pain is real. Okay, so here we go. I've gotta replace it here. So this is going to be stick, and this is going to be stick. That's still gonna be bone. There we go. Easy fix. All right, let's try this again. Throw that. Go back into meditation. Here, let me get rid of that. Let's grab another stick. All right. Game mode 1. Frozen. Alright. Alright, so holding meditation, bam, right? So that's where I need like an explosion of particles or you know, a little sound or something. So let me start making some notes here. So particles sound on meditation crafting completion, right? That's the first thing that we're gonna have to do. Or not the first thing, but that needs to be done. we go. Get all warmed up. My body temperature looking good. Mighty fine. So now that I have the wand, what I will need to be able to do is clay form the Thaumic Foundry. Alright, I'm going to keep getting rust sickness. I need to get the protective wristband here. Let's do / game mode 2. Equipment. The Heart of Harmony. Boop. Done. And I'm going to admin this stuff. There we go. Perfect. Right? So you would clay form this, and then maybe I'll have it to where you gotta cast transmutation like so many times on this to like create your you know, your oops. There we go. Yeah, to create this. So you would get it, right? You would place it down. Next thing you would have to do is get some flint. And you would start napping. You would nap these tablets. Oh, we need to add one. Let's add that right now. Let's go under recipes. There it is, flint. I'm like, this doesn't look right to me. All right, so this is going to be the resonator. Resonator normal. Copy. You know what? Technically, it would be tool resonator normal, right? Let me... tool tablet. Of course, it's not going to show me there. Close that out. I don't think I have it open. There we go. Tablet flint. Yeah, tool resonator normal is what it's going to be. I'll copy this. Scroll back up. So that is fine. I spelled it right. We will change this. This is going to be tablet resonator. Oh. Tool tablet, tool resonator. Going to be made from flint. We'll save that. I need to add some localization. So we got the tablet here. Okay, so I apparently had it localized. I just never added the recipe. Sounds like something I would do. Sounds like a Vice move. Ooh. Orange cream Coca-Cola. Let me in. There we go. There it is. The resonator. Oh, I need a description with it too. Here, let's add that now before I forget. Right, used in the Thaumic Foundry. Ooh, what is going on here? Oh, isn't it something? I had to do something with the description. Those are my achievements. Okay, so that's the craft block descriptions there. Crap. Synthomic Foundry. Do I... Can I do that? Yeah, so it's nothing there. Used in Synthomic Foundry. Okay. look for tool tablet. Oh my god, these windows killing me. That's what it is, right there. Item craft description, there it is, napping tooltips. So for this, it would have to be tool, resonator, normal. I need to add, like, actual descriptions to this, but for now, like, it's kind of localized. Oh, I probably have to go out and go back in. Nope. Do I have to log out and log back in? Did I save it? There we go. We'll quit, I'll rebuild, we'll hop back in. Once we have that tag in there, we can move on. I'm not going to nap the stuff, I'm just going to craft a couple of things, or at least put the first 5 flint tablets in the foundry to make sure the portal comes up, to make sure I can see what's going on in it. And then we will pretend to move on. I will create magic chalk. From there, we will look at the rituals. I think I want to go through the models and maybe tweak some of them. Because now that it's not bound to napping, I don't have to have it look blocky. I could have it look like this, right? You know, like using angles and stuff. So maybe that's what we'll also do here. Resonator still doesn't have anything, really? Weird. Did I spell something wrong? I probably spelled something wrong. Yeah, I gotta close out some of this stuff. Like this, 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 this. The transmutations, I gotta keep those open. That's gonna be another thing that we gotta go through. So I'll move transmutation 1, 2, and 3 over here. Here we go, just so they are out of the way. We'll get rid of that. The foundry, I can get rid of that. Particle system, I'll keep up. Here we go. Stone tablet, so this is enchanted stone. I will leave that up. Tablet flint, so that's that. Where is the... Here, this. You know what? We're just gonna dock this right in here. There we go. So item craft description, tool tablet. I spelt resonator wrong. Son of a bee, man. There it is. Hey, Pavadigan. Programmer's greatest curse. That's why, me misspelling things, that's why I have this references file. That way, I can have all these keys and not have to worry about, like, fat fingering something and spending hours and hours and hours figuring what specific part of my code is messed up. I've had to do that before. I'm like, nope, never again, never again. I'm going to use a string or something, I'm making a constant variable for it. Constant. Been there, done that. You know the pain. Alright. So I can get rid of this, and this. Alright, let's take a look at ritual stuff. Right, because you make the magic chalk. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let's get rid of that. Let's move this over, move this over. Alright, so that looks fine. Here, I'll move that right there. Alright, what do we got? You know, I'll just dump all these out here. Perfect. Alright, swap. Looks good. Pick it up. Place this one in. That's good. What about this one? Yep, rusty dust, shifting fibers, and rot. This one. Yep, bone, small rusty crystal, rustic compound, resonator. Perfect. So that's a good blend of that's using items, producing items and blocks. So the fact that I'm not seeing any errors come up, that's awesome. I do see there is something that says dropped. Let's find this. It left a print statement alive. There it is. Goodbye. Beautiful. Keyboard gremlins replacing an M with an N. My keyboard really is crappy. I gotta replace it. I gotta replace it. My space key's kind of wearing out. Wasad is, well, kind of works most of the time. Like, there are times when I'm like, I know I'm typing it in right. I'm not this bad at typing. Why is it, like, just not capturing keys? Yeah, this, to be fair, though, this is old. This is an old keyboard. Period and spaces are the worst. Yeah, my poor space bar. Oh, if I'm ever typing and you see that there's no space, my space bar screwed up. All right, so all that stuff works. Let me put these back in here. There we go. Pretty cool how you could just like right click and do that. All right, magic chalk. Let me get a fresh piece. I'm like, wait, it's not where I'm used to it. Yeah, I was doing just a global search there. Right, so you'll get your magic chalk. Now you can hit the F key, and you can pick what you want. I cannot get the description working for this. I don't know if it works at all or not, but apparently there's a description field. It doesn't do anything. So you would get the Sigil of World Essence. And at this point, just kind of come over here. Right, you would draw it down. So yeah, this, I think I need to redo these models, but I'll do that another time. Whoops. There we go. Go back to this. Boop, boop, boop. Right. Now it would want some kind of block. So what block should you use for this? Let's take a look. Stone path. Why is this so annoying? He made it stone path, man. It's got to be some kind of rock or stone. So let's specifically look for that. See, the problem is there are like so many kinds of stone, and I don't want to. I don't want to put forth the effort to make like a custom wild card just so you could put any kind of stone block in that you want. Like, it's gotta just, for the sake of my sanity, be something specific. Something that's like obtainable, where it doesn't have like 1,000 variants. So like I joked about like Stone Path, but you know, Stone Path is absolutely on the table. Mud brick would be another thing, because you could craft that. Maybe it could be like light mud brick. Oops. Getting dark? What? Got a mana lantern. Bam. Wide gate. It's a shame that isn't easier to wildcard. Yeah. You know, it's to give it credit. The reason why it's hard is because this right here, it looks for, there's a recipe, right? Here, let me make sure that all this is working. Yeah. See, invalid object. Oh, these were from before. Yeah, just gotta put them back in. There we go. This one's probably invalid object. Nope, yeah, it is. I'm gonna leave that one broken, and I'll get rid of those two. There we go. And that is fine as well. But, I mean, when you throw an item in, the recipe, like, it needs to get the actual, like, it looks to see what the item is, right? And then there's a lot more extra stuff you have to do to create a wild card of that, because really, it's not a true wild card. It is, like, a controlled wild card, where, like, if someone adds a mod with, like, another type of stone, it's not gonna be put into, you know, this system's wild card. I would have to manually insert every one of those entries. Minecraft's item libraries have internal stuff for potential wildcards just about everywhere. Yeah, because they built the infrastructure for that. You know how you do things like that? By not dividing up your development team. Zing! Okay. Hardy har. But yeah, I mean, Minecraft has had the privilege of kind of paving the way. You know what I mean? Like, they've had a lot more years of development. There we go. So what else do I need? Oh, I would need some kind of fuel source. You know what? Regular torches. Maybe this is what the initial ritual looks like. I think I'm going to get rid of the rustic torches. I don't really see them being a huge benefit, especially since the new way you're going to be getting things. Basically, the neutral mana torch comes right from the arclight furnace. Soon as you make this and then attach it to the arclight furnace and you start burning essence, you'll be able to mass produce mana torches. Not mass, but you'll be able to make them very easily compared to what you can now. Right? They're not going to be as valuable. And I think it would be a good idea to make some of this stuff a little more simple. You know, like the idea of, like, tier 1 ritual does this, tier 2 does this, tier 3 does this. Why not just have it to where it's like, okay, well, you know, there's no tier 1, 2, or 3. You know, they're just rituals that do a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I could find, like, other ways to, like, make it more powerful. Like, maybe you throw down more reagents, you know, and that increases the potency up to a maximum. Right? So if you want to do the ritual of the rust, like, it will use, like, maybe neutral mana torches. And that's the thing, right? Like, these are going to be more expendable. You'll put them in. It'll kind of, you know, either make them not lit or eat them, right? At random. But, you know, it's like, okay, well, now what the lanterns will do is those will 100% stay, right? And never go out. You know, and that's the benefit of having those, right? Just simplify it. Have 3 types of mana torches, and then the better lanterns that don't go out, and you're good to go. You know, like that's all you need. You know, for like the basic, like the creation rituals and stuff. You know, like, oh, I want to do the ritual of destruction, right? Bam. I put it down, like, it's all tied to, like, the one thing now. Let me go back and, yeah, here, let's put this stuff down. But there shouldn't be other types of torches with this. You know what I mean? It should be new, you know, for this one, destruction, it should be like dark, right? Dark torches. I put the dark torches down, and then instead of, like, separating out in batches, why don't I just make it to where you could throw up to, it will make up to a stack of, like, 32 or 64. You know what I mean? Just let me just give it to you right off the bat. There's no reason to make it more complex and be like, well, it's a tier 1 torch, and this one can take the tier 1 torch, and it only does this little bit. Right? Like, I can move past that. Make these rituals actually, like, good. I mean, it's already a fun system. That's my thought on the matter. I don't like the tier 1 torches, especially past tier 1. Yeah, it's kind of a waste. I've got my 4 of each type of essence, but occasionally I need to do a tier 1 ritual. I've got to stop and craft rust torches. Yeah, that's what I want to get away from. You know, like just make it simpler, separate everything out between light, neutral, or dark, right? And then if you have the lantern version, good for you. You know, like it's pretty much reusable. You know, that reminds me. For the mana lanterns, I got to go back to those. So 4 mana lanterns. Make particles underneath when hung on a wall or healing. Also look into ability so it doesn't fall if no block is under it, if it is on a ceiling. I think it does that too. I've been meaning to, I don't know why, we were just talking about the mana and lanterns, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't think I ever circled back to it, so I gotta check for that. It's a tool that's redundant for every ritual, that you can use better torches, lanterns, but there's a couple that need rust torches, so it sort of forces you to fall back to lesser tools, more or less. Yeah. What are the ones that, can you think of one of the ones that needs it off the top of your head? I'm trying to think. But yeah, right? Like, that's what I don't want. I don't want, like, a, you know, redundant kind of hot in a hat kind of stuff anymore. That's why that's why I'm doing this whole rewrite here. You know, like the Arcanus, you know, the treadmill, like, oh, you've created this way, and now you put one in the middle and you wrap it around and create the Primal Arcanus from the regular. Now you create the Seraphic Arcanus. Not going to be like that. You're going to be combining essences, you know, that, like, for instance, the tier 2 Arcanus is going to be called Chimerite. And you're going to get it by taking maybe like a Quartz or an Arcanus, and then using the 3 different types of ash with it too, right? So it's a blend of things. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that way it doesn't feel treadmill-y. You know, like for the Essence Ash, there's not a tier 1, 2, and 3 anymore. You know, for Essence Ash, it is, right? It's going to be either Mystic, Prismatic, or Umbral. You know what I mean? So it feels different. Man, my shoulder. Oh. The one for making the neutral gen is tier 1 only. You're right. That is the one. That is absolutely correct. What I was going to do to change that is literally just make it. Here, hold on. Let me get a wand. I don't know. Let's do a purple heart. Use it while I got it. Pew! There. Yeah. So Spetsy for that one, I just want to use regular torches. Right? For this creation one. Although I could... See, this is the problem. The way the system's set up, you know, a lot of this stuff has to be a little more rigid. You know, it helps to have, like, a fuel that it tries to look for. I may have to end up rewriting it, right? Because either this could be the one to make the neutral essence, or this. You know what I mean? Like, that could be it too. You could honestly get away with it having 3 tiers that don't do anything different if you wanted as well. Yeah, I could, but you know, at the same time, like my proposed change will be moving away from said tiers, right? Like, why don't I just make the rituals good? And what I could do now that I have this system, see, the problem was I had 10 pixels by 10 pixels to make a pattern, right? So you remember back in the day when it was like, oh, you know, the sigil of runic power, right? It was like the ritual of runic power 1, 2, and 3, and it was 3 different sigils that you could put down. Like, I could introduce that, because now it's just adding to a list. I can easily separate things out too. Like, this is all the tier 1 stuff. This is all the tier 2. This is all the tier 3 potency stuff. You know, like, I could easily do that now and have it make sense, right? Because now you put down that particular rune and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, this one's gonna want these kind of mana torches and this pattern. Boop. Let me work on transmutation. That's gonna be a slog to finish. We'll get the resonant wand here. Boop. Love that. I love that. Ooh. I can see that for sure, yeah. Little at a time. Little at a time. We'll get there. I was also considering allowing you to, like, trickle charge an obelisk with, like, transmutation, right? To maybe convert your mana and, like, imbue it. Oh, shit, look. I turned that one on. Oh, that's so cool. I love this. This is like one of the best changes I think I've... No, it's not. It's one really good change. Pew. All right, let's look at transmutation. Oh man, my shoulder. The pain is real. Oh, it's crippling. Jesus Christ. All right, let's pull this back up. Makes me stop breathing for a moment. Holy shit. This... Got a couple things to do. This, try spawn sphere, select particles. I'm taking ibuprofen and I'm taking Aleve for this. And it is helping, but it hurts like hell. Oh. If the walk-ins didn't completely suck in every possible way, I would have gone this morning. The walk-ins around me, though, are just like trash. They're garbage. People, they should not be doctors. Like, you spend all this time to go in and they're like, there's nothing we can do. You gotta see your primary. It's like, thanks, asshole. Hot shower for like 20 minutes. It doesn't work, man. So have you ever experienced the beauty of calcific tendonitis? This ain't shoulder pain where I can put a hot pack on or anything. This is literally within my tendons. Calcium is crystallizing. It feels like razor blades in my inside of the joint of my shoulder. It sucks, man. Sucks. It's the most pain. I've broken bones and stuff. I wish I could just break a bone instead. I wish I could break a bone. And the best part is when you lay down to try to sleep, it makes it like 10 times worse and you can't sleep because I'm literally squirming in pain, breathing heavily because it hurts so bad. It sucks so much. Like, I can lift this arm fine, this arm, nope. Oh. 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 Pain's excruciating. That's why I'm trying not to think about it. I'm trying not to think about it. Try spawn sphere, select particles. We're going to take in int x in, int y in. Oh my god, am I oh, I'm so tired. I got like no sleep last night. I was up late streaming. I was up until 2, and then I tried to lay down after popping some leave-in. Did not help. I was just like squirming, laying there awake, like can't really roll over. Oh. Let's do int in. We gotta change that to be in. Here we go. I'm gonna do that. So RGB, so this would be R in, B in, E in, A in. There, now I can use the same method for all versions of transmutation and just swap out the colors. Let me make sure. This does not have what I did last night for the conversion of the colors, so let's go into... I hate that this game uses the HSV, or HVS, right? It's... My brain cannot... It refuses to try to learn and comprehend the coloring in this game. RGB? Bam. I got it. I got it. This other crap? Not so much. Not so much. Let's see. So that's how I'm doing it here. Okay, so I'm doing it kind of upstream. Like right in here. This is where I'm doing it. Ugh. You know what? I'm going to take the liberty here to do it a little differently. RGB in, it's not going to be RGB anymore. It's going to be, oh god, what is it? Is it HVS? Is that it? Yeah, HSV. HSV. So instead of RGB, it will be HSV, and then the alpha, which means down here it needs to be H. Oh, wait a minute. No. I'm a little ahead of myself here. A little ahead. There we go. I want to do the color conversion in here. So, right, put this in here, and then I can take out each version of test and have that go into here. All right, so this would be 210. Let's make it look okay. There we go. Alpha is going to stay the same because I want to take in red, green, blue, convert it, right, and then propagate that in, right? So that should be good. Now what I could do is copy this. Come on down. You can get rid of this one right there. We'll get rid of this one. Did my music stop? My music stopped. Bam. instead of private, this needs to be protected. Save that. There we go. There are all my references. So transmutation 1, we're going to go over to here. So now what I can do is just create, like I'll put this in. This is the color for transmutation, right? So I could put that in. So this API, I need to hook into world dot capital A for API. Go fix all of that. Now I have to insert red, green, and blue. Red, green, blue, and alpha, right? So this is just going to be RGBA. There we go. Copy that. So that is that transmutation. Then we can come further down. Right? I could paste this in here. Let's scroll back to the top. Copy that. Paste it in. I probably should make the red, green, blue more like, global variables, but I'm the only one working on this mod, so I think I've talked it over with myself. I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm cool with it. Okay, so that is that color scheme. Yep, that looks good. So we're going to do the similar thing here. So I'm going to copy this over here. It's got 2 points that are upset. Make sure they're just about the same. All right, now I'll get this color that I already figured out last night. It's gotta change here, right? Because it's gonna be world this API. Go. Copy this. We'll go further down. Paste. Looks like everything else is almost the same. I do need this to say block position instead of target. Probably need to fix it here. It couldn't be trusted with so many. Yeah, I couldn't be trusted with so many colors, especially because Helldivers has ruined me. I code in all yellow, then yell something like deploy the Pisco. Jesus Christ. That's what she said. Oh, Moobot. Coming in for a win. I guess a broken clock is right every 2 times a day, right? Where are the particles here? Yep, okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I was doing it right there. Save. Yeah, you know what? Just stop. I know you're gonna be upset. Just stop. Right, so this is gonna be a similar thing. I will copy this. And I could also use this in other parts of my spells too. Maybe anything where that you have to like select something. I could have, maybe it won't be as big of an orb, but I could have a small ball for like your aim so you could see where you're aiming. I think that'd be pretty cool. Totally turn that in. It would help with projectile spells. Make sure you hit your target. All right, so I got that. Let's change it to this. Would it be faster if I just manually changed it, right? 150. Here we go. 150, 70, 230. Done. Yeah, that was a lot faster. That's a lot faster indeed. Bring it down, paste it in here, comment that out. So in here, we are going to need that. Perfect. I have a feeling I messed up one of these here. I guess I'm wrong. All right. So that should do it. Now all of the when you're casting transmutation, that code should all be shared with each version of transmutation. That also means that I could now extend this to any transmutation 2. What's going on? Why are you being so grumpy? Oh, I didn't do that. All shenanigans on that, but all right. Block position, copy. Perfect. All right, let's hop in. Let's get some music going. Man, what am I gonna have for lunch? Good grill again. Throw some hot dogs on. Get a nice hickory smoke into them. All right. Let's grab this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Cool. All right. Let's continue now because I need to do the same thing I just did for the actual spell effects for transmutation. Unfortunate. Unfortunately. All right, let's pull up transmutation. Sooner I get this done, the better. Because at least then transmutation will be 100% done. So trigger transmutation pulse. Go. I go into spell base. Go trigger transmutation pulse. This is going to be beastie code. So what I need to do is come into here. We need to make this protected. Go. Now that means in here, I can get rid of this. This. All right. Save that. Now I can just work from this one source of truth. So let me look here. So I make sure block accessor does not equal null. I think that's a good start for all of this. I think that's a wonderful start. This needs to be cut out block interactions is probably where I'm going to just throw this. Create a bunch of space. Alright, so let's start kind of looking at things. So I need to expand this already. I need to say... I could have everything as a separate variable. I could get in a new vector 3D. Actually, probably be a vector 3i. Then I can say min offset in. Copy, paste. So this will be max offset I. And then what I will be able to do is come over here, then kind of put in the X, Y, Z. Do that. Paste this in. So this will be the max. Go. That means for transmutation so far, I will need to account for that. But at least each version of transmutation will be able to input its own area of effect range. Right, so for this, let's go to here. And for this, I can do vector 3i. And I'll just say like min equals new vector 3i. And then for this, it's going to be 0, 0, 0, right? Because this one, a transmutation. So the reason why I originally gave everyone like a 3x3 area is because the way the projectile was shot out, I couldn't get accurately what block you collided with. I was not able to get that. So I had to kind of cheat a little and then check one space over to account for what you were aiming at. With this new system, I can get the exact block you are looking at. So transmutation in the beginning is only going to affect the one block, which is also why it's going to have a quick 2-second cast time, and also, costs like 2 mana. Maybe 1 mana, I'm not sure. So for this, I could put in min and then max. Copy this, go to here, scroll on up, paste that in. So this is going to be -1, -1, -1, positive, whoops, +1, +1, +1. Just like that. I'm going to copy this, paste this in, scroll up. This will be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. There we go. So now transmutation will scale depending on the version of the spell that you are using, which means I no longer need this anymore. Right, because that was me trying to add extra stuff to carry over for the projectile. I don't need any of that. I don't need anything that has anything to do with fired by either. A quick check to see if you've unlocked magic. You know what? You don't need it. There's no possible way with this, like, to cast a spell, you would have to do a mana check. I got you there. Player magic tier, that I can get, right, by getting player in, so I can get your magic tier. Block access begin. So basically, if I'm cycling through the blocks and it's an air block, ignore it right away. Just ignore it right away. I could eventually create a dictionary and put a bunch of maybe put the blocks that are only affected, right? That way I could also skip like every other block check. But I mean, what is it really buying me, right? I haven't heard a single person say I cached transmutation one time and it made my game lag, you know? I haven't heard anyone at all say that. I've heard them, you know, talk about other things lagging the game for them that I've done. Just not that. It's not. Kind of irks me a little bit that I just don't do the int here. Right? Because I could just do that. make it a little prettier, right? A little prettier. Put some lipstick on this pig. I want this to be an explosion of white particles. Like, have everything be like 225. I want to see what that looks like. For now, oh man, I hate when I do that. There we go. We'll move that over. Never had spellcasting lag personally. Some people had frame drops when buff stop ended on my server. Yep. That's because I use register callbacks. For whatever reason, the base, like, Vintage Story cannot... Every time, like, the register callback will run, there is a lot of lag. And it's Vintage Story, not really my mod. But it's an easy... It has less overhead than just adding, like, another watched attribute to the player. That's the only reason why I use it. I'm kind of hoping that the game will, will fix that. Good morning, Order. How's it going? But yeah, that's definitely something that has happened. Oh wait, I specifically made the white code here, the white particles for this. Oh, okay, I kind of like that. Let's get the other wands out. Right, so this would be the tier 2. Bigger sphere with the white particles. The white, I think the white's a good choice. That is awesome. Good morning. Just waking up, and I didn't get any sleep. Didn't get like any sleep at all. I'm running on fumes right now. Something to DM Blurry about, mayhaps. Dude, Spetsy, he gave us the okay. Send him the message. Hey, register callbacks lag when they are being called to expire. Can you look at that? Because that's the base game. Like, I can't do anything about that. Nah, he gave you the green light. No, both of us. I'm not gonna sit there and, like, be like, hey guys, register call. You gotta know something's broken at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of just want to, like, mod and stream and have fun. I don't want to, get pulled off and try to, you know what I mean? And honestly, it would help if other people kind of helped out, as a community. I'm wondering if I should run this as maybe a bool. I think it's going to be about the same. All right. But we'll just put something in here. Go a little further up. I'll make this a protected void. I'll say try spawn transmutation completed particle. Let's put this in. What I would need to do is, well, first things first, right? We need world accessor, world in, world. Go. I'm gonna need the player as well. I need the block position and the player, right? So, you know what? Just copy and paste. There we go. Copy and paste. There we go. So that will trigger. Now I could just call this one thing every time. Go do this. I will say a lot of this stuff they don't know because no other mod makers really talk about these weird bits. The guy who runs the server for my community caused a lot of stuff to be fixed just because he was the only one telling them about this kind of stuff. Yeah, like I could understand that. It's just, you know, I already unloaded a lot. You know, I just don't want to do anything right now. If I'm being honest, like I know if I don't do anything right now, if I don't send a message, I'm gonna forget because I'm going on over 24 hours without sleep, and I still got things to do. Like yard's got to get mowed. I got to deal with pool stuff. You know, I gotta gas up my car for my trip tomorrow. You know, gotta drive an hour to go into work. Like it's, I'm just tired, man. Emotionally drained. I'm just tired. I don't want to do it. You know, I don't want to do it. I don't like it. What was I working on? Transmutation. So this should do the same thing. Oh, I gotta save and quit. Don't worry, I'll poke you about it in a couple of days. Man, or like other people could do it too. I mean, honestly, registered callbacks, your server owner should be talking about that. Right? It's directly affecting them. Why do registered callbacks lag when they activate? Extreme, you know, like a noticeable lag. Ain't cool, man. That jerk Vice's fault. If he knew how to program better. I had considered migrating from the registered callback way of like putting buffs on and expiring them to having just like tickers. You know, like doing something similar to like the way I'm handling debuffs. But that's gonna be a big rip and replace. Like I don't feel like doing that. Like I don't have time in this current update. And I still want to add elemental summon creatures, the wyverns, right, and the elemental bosses, and then make the wyverns like mountable and tameable. Like I got like other things that I would like to do. Okay, so that's that. So it should be. Should be able to reach that, but it's not doing what I would have expected it to do. Let's minimize that. Go back into this. Oh, that's if there's a... No. It just won't add the charge. But it should be doing this. Oh, for target position. Oh no, Vice. Doing it all wrong, man. Right, so I notice a repeating pattern here. I should probably just make this a variable here. We'll do block position. I'd offer to do it, but I'm also 24 hours without sleep. For the opposite reason. Oh, so you're not in excruciating pain? You can lift your arm at least up to your hip. It hurts, man. Can I just do POS? Oh my god, block POS. Jeez. Say, I'll say specific. You know, I'll just do new POS. I just didn't want to use POS because that's probably for something else. So block accessor, get block target, right? So I can't do that. And actually, I don't need this anymore. I could just do block. Code path contains, right? So if it contains that, then I can do a check for the item, the entity. Whoops. And then I would want to have those particles spawn in that particular position. Now, transmutation should be able to, like, I could do it here, and it will hit that because it's within range. There we go. So the particles kind of jump out from there. Excellent. I think there may need to be a couple waves here. So what if I do this, do that, give this a try, see what this looks like. I may have to add something that increases the velocity as well. No, it's not looking as good. Yeah, I will, I'll have to figure... Oh! Yeah, I can't do anything with this. That explosion particle effect, I think it comes from... I don't know. I have no idea. Things are kind of working. I'm just rolling with it. Rolling with it. I'm not seeing this activate. Block code, right? So it would be that. Get block code for the new position. Marks it dirty. Caps it off if it needs to. At this point, probably should put a call to mark dirty here as well. That way there's no desync if it needs to do this. If anything, it would just set it for mark dirty twice, which isn't a big deal. It doesn't run twice. It would just mark it once. That way when it's done with the code, it will, you know, complete it. Try spawning items, transmutation. So it's block position. Get new position. It should be working. Hmm. I don't know. It's weird. We'll keep going. This will need to get fixed eventually. So this is going to be the Magic Station Thaumic Foundry normal. The Rift Weaver will be able to charge that. Rift Blooms, let's make sure I can harvest Rift Blooms. There we go. So I should be able to pop it in the middle, and it should get everything with this wand. There we go. Alright, that looks good. Here, let's try to go back into here. I'd probably put the particles if you could charge it. If not, then it won't do anything. Same thing with this. Okay. Save. Fireball. See, that was a burst of the white. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, for now, I'm not going to worry about this. We will put these particles here. Let's try something else. So that is this. What is this? Size modifier. Oh, this is checking to see if what type of transmutation this is. So right now, the harvest yields are different. I can't get this ID. Fortunately. Put in. There we go. I could put in the type of transmutation it is. That'll probably help out. I could do probably just the string. Right, string spell ID. Be this. Then I can say do spell ID in probably set it to where if oh, you know what? So we'll have that. Come back down to Rift Blooms. I will undo this. I can say if spell dot equals spell names dot transmutation 2 I guess that would be 3. So I could do 2 dot to string. Oh, I'm in pain because my soft body parts are too soft. Connective tissue disorders are fun. Oh, jeez, that sucks. Sometimes my body just goes, what if your spine goes this way instead? That's gotta be rough, man. Oof. Spetsy, I do not envy you. Because it's agony. Biology screw up so bad. I got size modifier here. I can get rid of that random. So this is the default. So this one's done. Riftweaver charge. Charged Riftweaver. Oh, this is... Okay, so let me pull this out. Hold on. So that's resonating with the rust. Made it to where you can't take the item back out, huh? I think once it's primed, that's just what it is. Yeah. You can't really take it out. Bernardo, hey, I am alive. How you doing? All right, let me try to. Where is it? Copy. So right in here, I want to post the particles here. All right, catch transmutation. It should hit both of these. It just blew up the world. Oh, I never restarted after modifying that method. Oh man, can I just continue? Nope, it doesn't even give me the option. Nope, sorry. That spell is called Destruction. That's the real Cataclysm. Transmutes, yeah, it transmutes your entire server. Look at that. The whole thing. Alright, so it wants the string, right? So we just gotta do, I could just do ID at this point. This ID should do it. It's called freeing up RAM. That's what that spell is. Giving your server a break. Turns it from working server to a non-working server. Yep. Hey guys, I'm out of drinks. The clock is ticking on this stream. The proverbial clock is ticking. Begin ticking. All right. What was I doing? The Rift Weavers. I'll just get 2 charged. 1, 2. And I was using this exact spell. Pew! Yep. Double Rift. Sweet. Yeah, see, you can't really target a rift. I should do something like that, where maybe that's what Obsession should be. I can have it to where like you know, maybe it's like closer range, but you have to like try and like select it and then get it close and to close your portals. Maybe. Maybe not. All right. Minimize this. Probably want 200 by 200 by 100. Maybe do that instead here. There we go. I think that's pretty darn good. Sphere select particles. Try spawn sphere select particles, right? So that's taken in red, green, blue, or not red, green, blue, X, Y, and Z. Basically, it is the same as this. Come on, where's the torches? Here we go. Here we go. Alright, so I could do that. And put the same thing into here. I don't need that, right? I could do tri-spawn transmutation complete particles, which would get rid of all of this. And then this, I'm going to bring it down to 200 with that RNG. Go. Okay. So I did that. Got that done. Basic torch, let's double check to make sure I didn't just screw it up. There we go. See, it does the particles from the one, and then it doesn't do it on anything else. You know what, for now, I probably shouldn't worry about it. Let's see what's happening. Too many particles. I'm reaching the particle cap. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. So we'll minimize that. Relight inert mana torches. I could probably, you know what? Instead of like a burst of particles, I could probably just use like a shader and like spawn a shader briefly. Change that. Change that. I know a lot of this stuff is going to just work. So that was the torch. That worked fine. All right, mana torch. There we go. Perfect. Ooh, there we go. Lit. So that worked fine. Fire pit. I forgot you could do that. Grab some grass. Put one down. Phew, there we go. That works. So that was the mana lantern. There. The fire pit. Transmute leaves. Leaf this to me. Alright, so we will try... Yep, this is the kind you go through. Bam. Yep, drop the stick. The kind you cannot go through. There we go. That's branchy right there. Yep, perfect. Well, that works. Relight burnt out torches. That's wrong. This would convert ancient artifacts into inert versions. Alright, so let's get an unstable one, doesn't matter which one. Oh, I hid them, huh? I'm lazy. We're gonna try and force spawn one. The smog! Dude. With all of these. There we go! Transmutation! Can't see shit! There we go. Yep, it did it. It's inert now. I can add a rusty gear. Alright, just wanted to make sure. Oof. A little radioactive over there. Let me, oof. Come over here. Radioactive. Alright, so that is working. And that's actually the end of the, I think, what I would consider basic interactions. Maybe I should probe people in Discord and be like, hey, anyone have any ideas for what, like, transmutation could do? Right, code them in. I think leaves to sticks are good. Maybe I could do something with, like, the corpse, right? Like the bones, like you transmute it into something else. Something useful. We could have it to where you could transmute. Maybe not stones, but maybe boulders. Boulders into, like, flint. You know, a couple pieces of flint. I don't know. Be kind of cool, maybe. It would be even better too if I made transmutation. Oh, this is a duplicate. Totally see boulder to flint. That would also mean you could use obsidian more. What do you mean with obsidian? Baby. You know what? The drop was not in the center for this, right? It's originating from the corner. Let's fix that. Rift Bloom. Oh, you know what? It's not there. It would be in here. So, item, position, then velocity. Oh, so this should be new vector 3D plus 0.5 F. Oh, well, D. Then the seed. I'll start that at like a quarter. And I'm not going to put null in there. I'm going to let it just have the randomly generated velocity. But this should at least look like it's coming out of the plant. There we go, just like that. And everything's spread really nicely. Perfect. There's still the flint to obsidian ritual, right? Yes, there is, but there is a stone to flint ritual, too. So, you could do that. Although it does take a ritual to do. I don't have it unlocked. Let's unlock all achievements. Boop. Right, from the ritual of creation, you could turn loose stone into flint, and then flint into obsidian. So basically, you could turn 8 stone into like 1 obsidian. Which I think is pretty good. So you're thinking boulder to flint? Maybe make a boulder to flint transmutation interaction. How much flint? How much flint should you get from a boulder? How much stone do you normally get from a boulder? No. Yeah. Six. Oop. Yeah. Was 6. It would be a shame to give you like 1 flint, right? Because four stones make 1 flint. And then you need 2 flint to make 1 obsidian. Yeah, probably shouldn't be better than the ritual. Considering how it's only a little... Maybe that's not a good conversion then, right? Oops. Because it would be 8 stone. Oops. Like, I'm like failing all over the place. Lame. Okay. Well, I guess for now maybe would have to drop just 1 flint question mark. What about mushrooms? Transmutation. Well, I mean, you could just harvest with a knife. Maybe something like resin blocks. But again, right, you could just harvest. What would I transform this block into? I don't know. I can't think of any other interactions, really. So, we made some progress here. I think I'm going to ice my shoulder and hope that the throbbing that I'm having right now will go away. hoping. We'll see. You know, I kind of want to reverse these. No, I don't. I think this is perfect. Go. And all these interactions are done, so I'll have to do stuff with the utility blocks. Figure out what transmutation is going to do with these. Wait a minute, is that it? Is that it? What else does transmutation do, guys? I feel like there's more to it. There's got to be more to it than this. Oh, all the ritual stuff, right? That's what I'm not seeing here. Utility blocks currently not being used. Oh, it's because I'm breaking it up into two separate things, right? So this first wave here, kind of signals like if there was an interaction, you know, like through normal means, and if there was, then it doesn't call the whole thing. And then this is like, okay, this is your, you know, your pedestal, your rituals, magic arrays, yeah, and it's all this stuff. For like almost 4,000 lines. Fireball. Lights, torches, repairs, burnt out torches, leaf to stick, utility blocks, rituals, rift bloom harvest. Yep. I was having a brain fart. Transmute blue clay to red clay, but not red clay to blue clay. Or you could just use the ritual of balance to cycle through all of them. You know what? Let me look at the ritual of balance. I may do something trolly. Yep, I already did it. Oh, past Vice, you are a devil. Red clay's the most abundant, so I have it to where you have to go from red clay to fire clay, and then from fire clay to blue clay, which is what my mod is going to use. So you gotta, you know, the most abundant thing, you're gonna have to process it twice to get your blue clay. You monster. I love it. A fisherman spots another fisherman from afar, Spetsy. Oh, man. How's the weather where you are? I'm convinced that we're either in, like, a same type of place that has similar weather, or you live right up the road from me. And we won't even know it. Do you go out and mow your yard? Were you the guy that I saw struggling with his mower? I felt bad for him. Dude had like a push mower, and his grass was long. And the guy was just like sweating, and it kept like getting clogged and turning off, and he's like, oh, and he's like ripping the cord again. Like, oh man. Hey, that actually worked. Cool. It's more of a couple hours away, but we're definitely kind of close. Yeah. I won't see you at the corner store, huh? You wouldn't even recognize. Oh wait, no, I got a camera on. You probably would. Shit. All right. So let's find someone to raid. I made a lot of progress. My shoulder is. It's like literally pulsing with pain right now. So let me pull up Twitch. Well, when did I take, wait, you could take a leave every, like, 8 hours? No. Hours. That's, like, an hour and a half away. Who's playing Vintage Story? Percuss is 1.21.pre2 out. Man, these pre's need to get their rears in gear.
Really?
That's all I'll say. Let's just go to Vintage Story. Who's all playing? I don't want to see pre-2 right now. I don't even want to look at pre-2 right now. It knows what it did. Yeah, anyone have someone they want me to raid? I'll leave it open. Oh, damn. Oh, my shoulder. Yeah, you got someone you want me to raid? I'll raid them. Why not? Like actual, like, razor blades in my joint. Azure West. I'm off for today. Good luck with the shoulder, thanks. Alright, I'm just gonna pick someone at random. You know what? We're gonna raid Wasteland Puppy. That dude's pretty chill. I like Wasteland Puppy quite a bit. The cool streamer, easy to listen to. Seems like an awesome guy. We're gonna raid him. I'm not sure what he's playing right now. It's System Shock. I have no idea what System Shock is, but I guess we are about to find out. Boom! Going in with the raid. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'm telling you, this new update it's feeling good. You know, just a few more opportune particles, maybe a shader here and there, and magic is actually gonna really start to feel like real magic. I need to, probably the next thing I'm going to do is create the model for the Arclight Furnace, and then get like a basic block in that can link to be able to use Essence. And then start thinking about, because I also have to remodel the obelisk as well, because I'm getting rid of all the GUIs, right? I'm getting rid of all the GUIs. You'll be able to place your lacrimas directly into these essence generators. But all right, everyone, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all later. I may live stream again a little later if this pain subsides. But thank you. Have a wonderful day. Talk to y'all later. Bye.